Wow, hun. It's looking
What are you
good.
doing?
I'm just recording. So, how's the project going? You almost done?
Oh, I am about finished. I
Yeah?
am about finished. Yes, I'm putting on finishing touches with a little bit of buff out and bringing the shine back. So it's been about a month since I started, off and on, right? Not like 24/7. And so yeah, putting just a little bit of shine on it, and yeah, wrapping it up.
Yeah.
You want to take a look?
Yeah,
You want
let's
to see
take a
the
look.
finished product?
Yeah, let's
All
do
right,
it.
well, follow me around. I'll show you on this side, okay? How about we'll start out here?
Okay.
So, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but you got to get a look at that awning, because the last picture of that awning was when it was just completely ripped and shredded all over the place.
Yeah, you put a new awning on it.
Yeah, got a new awning. You can see the bunks are all out now. You got the wheel wells covered, so I got new fenders on it. You can see what we've got there.
Nice.
Everything's shined up over on this side already, so it's looking pretty good there.
Yeah, so what were you doing out there in the back?
Just buffing it out.
Yeah.
Buffing it out with a little bit of buffing compound. So,
Yeah.
yeah, just bringing back the shine, because it was really oxidized. It was really just nasty looking.
Yeah.
Looked old. And so now you can kind of even look down the side of it, you see a good shine.
Nice.
And you can see like I said, the wheel wells, and they got the wheels, the aluminum rims all shined up, looking good. But let's go inside and let's see what the great indoors look like. All right, so you can see it is a construction zone right now. It's a construction zone. It's a 2013, so it's dated in that way. But as I started going through things, started to notice that we had some issues. You see that? That's rot. That's all rot that I dug out already, and it's from the hinge that's on the outside where that bunk flap folds out, and that hinge, the caulking failed on it, and so water got in there. So that's one of my firsts that I'm going to try to jump in there and see what I can do. Okay? All right, but wait, there's more. Let's walk through here. And there was a soft spot in the floor. And the soft spot was a matter of, well, we thought maybe they had hit something, and I already started to work on this a bit. But it turns out that at one point in time, I don't know how well you can see that, at one point in time, somebody left this right here, the vent hood, wide open for an expended period of time. And it rained and rained and rained and rained. And guess what the camper did? It filled up with water, all right? Now, I didn't quite know that when I bought it. I heard that there was a little bit of water damage. But anyway, water sat in here for a long time. And so it rotted this entire part of the floor, all right? Pretty nice. In the meantime, there's a sunlight here. And the sunlight also had a crack in it, which, by the way, I didn't know any of this. Like, if you looked up at the ceiling was just a white ceiling, and it looked okay. But when I started pressing around, I saw a lot of soft spots. In fact, my finger just went right through the ceiling because it was rotten. So tore all that out, and that's going to be another part of our work. Let me come down here. So, not to gross you out, and again, like us men, when we're doing projects, sometimes things come out of our mouth that maybe are not appropriate for the TV, but the toilet was here, and I had to take the toilet off. And when I took the toilet off, I was kind of blown away by what I saw. You might say I had a shit show. Yeah, it was a mess. Here, the toilet had not been cleaned out. The black water tank had not been cleaned, and I don't even want to know how long it had not been cleaned. So, good. Come on in.
All right.
All right,
Wow.
so you remember when I showed it to you the first time. So the first time, Well, it was a construction zone completely, right? Completely. It was an old linoleum floor, and then down from this point on was completely rotted out. And you may remember I showed pictures of the toilet, and the floor was rotted all the way down to the subfloor, the insulation even. So I had to pull all that out and let it dry. And then I ripped it all out, and then went back with an underlayment, and then went back with this waterproof planking on the floor. So floor is really beefy and strong now. Bathroom doesn't smell at all.
Yeah, so if we had smell-o-vision.
Yeah, because before it had, the black water tank had not been cleaned, and it had a load still in it. Not just a single load, but a tank full. So flushed all that out, got it together. So yeah, got that. Like I said, we got the bunks ready. Yeah. Sinks are good.
You put a new backsplash on it.
Put a new backsplash on the whole thing. Painted all the walls. They were an old dingy kind of wallpaperish color. So painted all that and kind of made it pop, and put that that little trim around the chair trim type thing. So yeah, I mean it is officially ready for camping. Got the air conditioner working. So that's, yeah. So got that working good. Got the stereo working.
Tonight, and man, you have got us millennials feeling some type of way with this one. I mean, Jackpot throwback.
So yeah, we are. The TV is now working, although I don't have my antennas hooked up right now. But so yeah, so now you see a finished product. 1 month. I don't want to count my hours, but probably a few. I mean, this was, everything else was kind of put on the back burner. We had graduations to get ready for. We had some travel, and I'm getting a knee replaced here in just about half a week. And so I had to get this thing wrapped up and finished before I'm going to be laid up for a good part of the summer.
Wow.
So
I want to hear the lessons you learned through this project. Can we talk about that?
Yeah. Can I have a seat?
Yeah, let's go sit outside.
Let's go sit outside and we'll set it up. All right, so are we ready to get a little scoop on the lessons learned from my Jackpot?
Yeah, tell me what you learned.
Remember, so on my last Strong Dads video, I gave some words of wisdom. When you start a project, remember, nothing's easy and nothing's cheap. And guess what? It turned out to be right again. Yeah. So actually, though, we didn't break the bank on this. We haven't totaled up all of our bills on it. But you know, when you go down to Home Depot and you're dropping $80 here and $100 here, and you know, so I'm gonna guess we probably are gonna have around $1,000 in this with paint and caulking and even awning and everything. So probably gonna be around $1,000. So give or take a couple thousand. Yeah, so that is a big takeaway. You know, and I think, I don't know what you think when I take on projects, because I don't know if I always want to ask. But you know, I always have confidence when I'm going to start a project that I have the ability to do it. And with YouTube, I know I can do it. All right. But the thing is just what it's going to cost to do it, and I don't necessarily mean money. I mean time, distraction. I've not been able to work out much. I've not been able to do a lot of other stuff because I said every night, this is what I got to do. So it all comes at a cost, and you know, we've rehabbed some houses and we built some houses, and I've learned to know that when you start these kind of projects, you just have to put everything off, because if you keep trying to do them all, you'll get really frustrated.
But I've appreciated how you create kind of a timeline, a realistic timeline of, you know, start to finish, what that's going to take you.
Yeah.
Tell them about that.
Well, I think it's important. There's two things. If you're ever thinking about whether it's restoring a car, whether it's fixing up a house, building something, if you're really ever thinking about doing that, I think it's really important to do two things. One is to get a vision or name what the finished product looks like. Whether it's going to look that way or not, but just name it. Like, when I'm done, I want it to be like this. And the second thing is and we do this with ADHD kids all the time. You can never look at an ADHD kid and say, go clean your room. Because it just doesn't, there's nothing of urgency to it. And so you have to say, you need to get your room cleaned and you have an hour to do it, or you do it by 10 a.m. or whatever. And so I learned a long time ago with myself that I have to operate the same way. I have to say, I have a month to get this finished, and it's going to get finished at that month. So putting a time frame on yourself and naming what you want the vision to be on the end really, for me, keeps me focused. Other things have to be pushed off, but it keeps me focused. And so, and you get to reap the rewards of now seeing it finished. And
yeah. Well, and you have a knee replacement coming up, so
yeah,
that was your deadline, right?
That was the hard deadline, right? Yeah, because on Wednesday I won't be functioning.
But you also want to enjoy it in the summer and the fall. So if you had stretched that project out all summer and fall, then we don't get to reap the benefits of it.
Yeah. There's another thing, hon, that comes to mind, that when you do different things, you have to have buy-in from all that it involves. And I felt like I had your buy-in because we're going to use this as a family. But I also knew that it's sitting in our driveway. And we don't like a lot of junk hanging in our driveway. And I know, especially because we had a graduation party and we had my dad's 90th birthday party, it was like, are we going to do something with these, this thing? And so I knew we had to juggle that around. And so I just felt like it was important for me to take that into consideration for your sake. Like, no, I just can't leave it out here and make it an eyesore.
Right. Like you said, it wasn't a month straight. It was a month with some interruptions and some priority shifts. You finished a project for graduation on the house first. And so, you prioritize the important. And that's the thing when you take on a project, right? You got to make sure you keep the priorities straight.
Yeah. Another thing that I think are strong dads out there that are listening, a lot of guys, you look at what other guys do and you go, man, like, I wish I could do that, or, I don't have the ability. And, what I really think I would encourage guys to do is you got to jump. You have to jump. But the key is to build confidence, so jump small. Jump small, start with a small project. Maybe you have an old bicycle that you want to restore, right? Like, start with that so that you can just get your skills and get your understanding of how things operate. And you and I know that I've, over the years, worked on a lot of different projects. And so there's just a confidence there. But that came from my dad. I mean, starting on these kinds of projects when I was a little boy, right? Always being around this kind of stuff. So I would never want to look at a guy that says, man, I'm just not handy, I can't do that. It's like, well, with YouTube and a little bit of practice, you might be surprised.
Well, and, we're talking to strong dads, right? So you learned these things from your dad, working alongside your dad. And so I love it, the fact that you encourage our sons, our daughter to work alongside you, to learn, whether it be changing brakes, learning how to change
that was
tire.
Another job we had to do in the middle of all this.
Yeah. But you had your son alongside you. It's his car. Right? And teaching him to be able to have confidence in doing that himself. Yeah,
and you bring up a good point. I always had a genuine interest of hanging around my dad when he did projects, even through high school. So I'm not saying that, I'm just saying that. That's just a statement. I always did. But every boy's different. We've had 4 boys, and I've had 2 that were like, yeah, Dad, what are you doing? Let me see. And they would be right in there getting dirty and wanting to learn it. And then I've had 2 that now they go, I wish I would have paid more attention. So you try to invite them in, but I know that dragging them in only sort of repels them from it. So you have to be careful when they're young. If they're interested, invite them in. Let them put tools in their hands. Let them use an electric or cordless drill. In a small way. Let them feel that, because it just builds the confidence. So any final
words of advice or wisdom to the strong dads out there with the finished product behind you?
Well, with hard work, you do get to reap the rewards. I think the idea here that we don't just work in vain, that we work for the purpose of being able to serve and enjoy. God wants us to enjoy the fruit of our labor. And so, when you take on a project, know how you're going to use it. To me, there's nothing more frustrating than when somebody spends a lot of time maybe restoring a car or whatever, and they never use it. And they just never use it. And it's like, well, I'm not sure if I understand that. To me, do a project and think about, how can I use this thing and really see the benefit, and for your family. We're already, I hope we're not disappointed, but we're already planning camping trips with our grandkids and our kids, and you've already got marshmallows bought and everything, So,
I do, actually.
Yeah, so, you want to enjoy it. And if you're not enjoying it, then I would say, hey, maybe that's not the right thing for you. Yeah. So, yeah. My final words, be a strong dad. Go out there and do these things. Do these things with your kids, with your family, and just enjoy it. Don't be afraid of it, right? So everything I did on this has been a learning lesson. So.
Yeah, yes you have.
All right. Hey, I want to thank you guys for watching our Strong Dad show, and this is really part 2 of the camper series. And so, if you find this inspiring in any way, please tell us what you think about it, right? And share it with other people who are maybe on the edge of wanting to start a project, but maybe they're doubting or something. Let's get behind our brothers and let's motivate them and energize them to go do great things. So I want to thank you guys. I want to thank Casey's Outdoor Solutions, Quality Auto Mart, and 4Speed on 50. So thanks to those guys for allowing us to put these kinds of shows out and hopefully inspire you guys and continue to build strong dads. Strong Dads wants to thank Quality Auto Mart and Service for being a proud sponsor of the Strong Dads podcast. Started in 1985 and going strong for all these years. Recently, Quality Auto Mart has transitioned from owners of Mark and Nancy Repke to longtime employee Fred and Lorraine Venus. For all your automotive needs and golf cart needs, check out Quality Auto Mart, located across from Indian Lakes on Highway 46 outside of Batesville, Indiana. Strong Dads wants to thank 4Speed on 50 for sponsoring today's show. If you like classic cars, great food, and a taste of Americana, you have to visit 4Speed on 50's Diner, located on Route 50 in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Stop in today for a meal and an experience you won't soon forget at 4Speed on 50's Diner. Casey's is a premier garden center and gift shop located in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Casey's offers a wide selection of plants, landscaping materials, home and garden decor, and gifts for every occasion. Casey's is committed to providing exceptional service, a unique shopping experience, and value to every customer. Stop in and see what makes Casey's so unique. Located at 21481 State Line Road, Lawrenceburg, Indiana, or call 812-537-3800. Let Casey's help you add beauty to your home.